Web browser, text editor. I'm going to drag this into here. Boom. Oh my gosh. Yes. Amazing. I have meaning. So that's it. That's basically it. If you can do that, now you can make your final project. you can just create infinitely here. And essentially now this just scales. You can learn, and we're going to talk about other tags. This P is a paragraph tag. So look what happens now if we go in here. We go boom, copy, paste. There's a tag called heading. We're going to use, there's a few levels of heading. We're going to use H1, heading 1. Okay? Now I'm going to hit save again. Save. I'm going to go to trusty Firefox here and realize that I removed my refresh key. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to hit return. Or you can drag that file in again. You can come over here. That's it. That's simple. Is this helpful for some people? Some people, this is good refresh. Yeah, good. Some people are like, snooze, you lose. Bear with us. So from this, we can now extend it a little bit further. I think we have a little time. I'm going to do one more level deeper here, which is linking two documents together. So we have index.html. How about we make an about page? So over here, I'm gonna make a new P, and I'm gonna use that link I was talking about. This is hrefs called a property, and every property has to have a quotes, double quote like this, and a double quote to close it. See that? Href equals quote quote, not QQ. Ha. And now I'm going to type about. I'm going to close the A tag. And I'm going to close the B tag. Then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click save. Then I take this, I drag it in again. Oh my gosh. It's an about link. But what? Oh no. It just links to the same page right now. Oh, we need to make another page. Okay. So it's simple. We just apply the same logic. Why don't we make the second page? Why don't we make it about.html? Okay. And then I'm going to come up here. Well, let's hit save first. You can never make enough save or backups in computer world. Remember that. Save. And now I'm going to make a new document. Here. See that? I'm going to take this. I'm going to use the power of copy. And then I'm going to paste. Then I'm just going to make this really simple. I'm going to make the title, this one, about. I'm going to say about here as well. I'm going to make this is the about page. Hey, and you know what? Why don't we make this also, when people visit this, why don't we make it go back as well to the main page? now I'm going to hit save. Call this about.html. Now I'm going to hit save here. Oh, cool, look, there's two, on the disk, there's two documents. There's an index and an about. So now let's take the index and drag it in here. Boom. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh yeah, that's right. So now we have linked together two documents. This is now all you really need to know how to do to go to build website, web application. It just scales up from here. And all you need is a web browser and a text editor. That's it. And now you can go and make money. Lots of it. And just to demonstrate this, I'm going to go back over here to the Chrome browser, which is many people are using now, whether they know it or not. If you're using an Apple product, you're using Safari, you're using iPad, iPhone. You also use this. I'm going to drag it in. And now you start to see why this is also so cool. It's a standard. So we're assured that in the modern browsers that this file is going to work and look somewhat similar. That's it. Now up here you can see this looks a little bit nasty, but as I was saying, we have these organizations like ICANN that map domain names to this, so that when you type in your website, it goes to a document like this. Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
What is the difference between...
This is a planted question. He's paid for this. He's 50 center.
What is the difference between an HTML document and just a text file? Is there something that you would put in the HTML document that would tell the web browser that it's an HTML document?
Well, there is some more little code at the beginning called a doc type, which describes what the document is, and that's actually one of the things that's more clear in HTML5, and we're going to get to that. You know, web browsers are dirty, kind of dirty dogs, which is cool. If I just type in now, I'm going to make a new document right now. I'm going to go, hey, new. I'm just going to say, this is a file, man. Let's do strong. It's strong. It's a strong man. And now I save this file the same place, and I go, let's just call it strong. But I didn't even say .html on it, okay? I just hit save. If I go over here, and now I type and I drag in strong, you see? Most web browsers will interpret this a different way. It's more ambiguous. So what Christopher is bringing up is there's ways to make in the file and also the file ending more specific so the web browser knows what to do and how to display the document. Actually, you know, Firefox might display this even differently. Can you do that in a Mac? So both browsers are displaying this the same. This is also something else we're going to be talking about, because some people, if you're using Windows, you're using Internet Explorer versus Safari versus Firefox versus Chrome, things might display differently. We're going to get to that kind of technicality. But I'm going to change the file name now to strong.html. Okay? And I'm going to drag it over. And you can see automatically that the file ending, the web browser interprets a certain way. Your question answered? I love answering detailed questions. All right, I'm going to keep moving here now because I think you guys get this, but we can talk about this stuff more at the break. I wanted to just quickly now hop through. What we've talked about is HTML, the basics, and that was like 93, 96. This is where we're at now. We're up to like 2009. We're actually a little bit further than this, down to HTML5. And if you can imagine the development, the pace of growth of the web, this exponential growth, there's been more desire for companies and people to do more. And that has led to the development of these specifications. We don't have to dive into each one of these, but like HTML was really funny. And basically, you're making very simple documents. But how do you get from that to like making Facebook, or how do you get to making Angry Birds? How do you get to this level? How do you make a mobile OS that's running HTML documents? How do you get to that? Well, you need some standards for that. The growth of the web has created this mess of linked documents, and the specifications are made so that there can be some untangling of this web. There was a little bit of a coup in the creation of these specifications. This is another nerd war that happened. Not Star Wars, but nerd wars. And because there was a standards body that was created to develop specifications, it became a little bit slow and lethargic. And this is the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium. It was full of all these guys in like lab coats and nerds sitting around and wear socks with sandals. And anyway, I won't get into that. They're doing all these things, creating all these specifications that, meanwhile, companies like Apple, Google, they're making like billions of dollars. And let's just face it, like a bunch of nerds in sandals cannot keep up with a bunch of cool people with shaved heads and mustaches and jackets. Yeah, oh wait, what? Steve Jobs. This group of large companies, Adobe was also part of it, created this WG, which was, they threw all this stuff that they wanted in HTML into this thing, and then they just forced the W3C into submission because it was facing irrelevance. And as many groups that are nonprofits who get funding, they also start having like big parties everywhere and everything, they get really slow. So this kept them in check. So if you want to read more about this nerd war, you're really into like textual manga, you can read this. It's a lot of fun. But from that, we get HTML5, which is where we're at today and with this course. And I'm not going to jump too much into it, but let's just say there's a ton of features in that are fun. Graphics, things that we do with software programming that really help in being able to make applications. But it's important to consider right now in this kind of introduction that HTML5 is really now just HTML. And it's already continuing to grow. And that's driven mostly by, it is driven by large corporations at this point who are pushing the standards for it. And our part, not only just to learn how to make these things, but as kind of global citizens is to be a part of this process, to help drive it forward. And that's why Mozilla exists, and that's why we have Firefox, and we have some technology counterparts to these large companies. All right, so any questions before we have I think we have a break now. Remember that. It's simple and free. So just think about that. It's so cool, right? There's no one if you have a computer, you have access to a computer now, you can make money, you can survive, and build web applications, websites. All right.